Hey, you guys, it's Charlie, and we got Reg joining us that
Good
way.
evening.
We got 406 down there.
It's
And the
gone.
world's most tired geologist down below there. How you doing, Rock Butcher?
Yep, going on 3 weeks of straight 12, 14 hours, so nonstop. Get her done.
Yeah, tear it up.
Hmm.
Drill
Over
that
here.
hole.
That's
Over
it.
here, it's been so cold that like the Jeep won't even start. Even with the engine block warmer plugged
I
in.
know, I've been watching the news or the weather from back home, just north of you there, and it's brutal.
I'm back at home.
Nice. So what? You got your Jeep plugged in? It still won't even crank?
Nope, I think the battery's shot though.
No.
It just doesn't have the cold cranking amps that it needs anymore, and it's just not wanting to turn over.
Ah.
It'll like wah wah, and then it's cold.
Yeah. It's like nope.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like the Jeep's going womp womp.
Yeah. Wah, wah, wah.
But got a new front tire. I got one on the spare, so got some new shoes for the front end of the Jeep. But
Good.
there's a few other things I gotta fix because if you look at how the tires wore out, there's like the ball joints need to be replaced. Because the way the tires are tipping.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So it eats through tires really quick.
Yeah.
No, geez.
So it's one of those things that are going to have to be replaced. But with
Ball
it being
joints
as
and
cold as
alignment.
it is and everything like that, and then as fixing other issues that I had with the Jeep, with like the transmission mount on the passenger side rusting through and having to re-weld that back up again, I realized that the front passenger side U-joint knuckle in the front wheel drive area for when you put it in 4-wheel drive is shot, so I have to replace one of those as well.
Oh, jeez.
Never ends, does it?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
But I want to keep the Jeep up and running and stuff like that. I mean, it's a good vehicle. It drives really good. I mean, there's just a few things that need to be fixed up on it. And of course, once that's fixed, the gas mileage will improve. So,
Can you guys hear that?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the coyotes out in the creek behind us.
No, nice.
Yeah, it's coyotes. Even my wife can hear it all the way in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Go out there and go. And they'll run up to you.
Oh yeah.
I've
Give
seen
them kisses,
videos.
blow them kisses, and they'll come up. Trust
I've
me.
seen videos of guys going outside when they're all howling like that, and then just let a big bomber rip, and then they just go quiet.
Yeah.
Like, what did that guy just say?
Yeah, it's warm enough here. We got the patio door open and letting some cool air into the apartment.
Oh heck, that. From what I've read, yeah, that's $35 a pelt.
Yeah, in town, it's probably also about 8 years in jail for discharging a firearm.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, you got to weigh the options, right?
We'll
Right.
go back out to the mine site.
Yeah.
Get you a little Red Desert Howler, and whack them.
Well, they have pellet guns that you can get that are legal within city limits.
I don't know. I'm not going out. I'm too tired. Do you see the too tired thing right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See these bags?
I'm not
This is
going.
matching luggage.
Yeah.
A whole cruise.
Is this a monetized video? I should have asked that before I
No, like none of the live streams are monetized.
got a sip of Coke. A sip of Coke. Okay. None of them are monetized. Good.
Oh, you're saying it's beer 30.
Yeah.
You mean this whole time I've been smoking off camera because I didn't want to get you in trouble, and I could have been
Well,
smoking on camera?
that I wouldn't do on camera.
I'm talking this.
Oh yeah, no, oh.
Yeah.
This whole
Totally call him
time
a stoner, right?
I go off camera so I don't get you in trouble.
There you go.
Smoke
Oh, here's
what?
Joe here.
Dutchy DB.
What's up, DB?
And Gold
David
Eagles
Villa.
in the
Mr.
house.
Gold Eagle.
Dave Vila.
Good evening, DB.
Hey, turn that down.
Well, fine. I'll break the ice.
Turn that down.
There you go.
Apparently, Charlie already did.
No.
Yeah, there's like 14 inches of ice on the creek.
Really?
I just plugged it in. Plug it in upstairs.
Yeah, I'm sure the Elk Creek claim is under about 4 to 5 foot of snow right now.
Yeah.
It's
Well, when I left,
it runs right along a snow belt, so it just gets pounded.
Yeah. And when I left Thunder Bay 2 weeks ago, the buddies of mine went out ice fishing. They said there was 8 inches of ice on the lake,
Yeah.
not Superior on the inland lake. You know.
Yeah, that's
But
enough.
there's 14 inches
Drive a freight
now.
train on.
Yeah. There's 14 inches now. It's really been cold.
Oh yeah, there's 2 freight trains.
Hmm.
Well, we got down to like actual temp negative 14, but with the wind chill and everything that we had with the high winds and everything that came with it.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we had like up to 30, 40 mile per hour winds here
Wow.
when it was like minus 20. And with the wind chill on that, it's
Yeah.
brutal.
It was minus 20 in your language in Thunder Bay today, this morning. And,
Minus 20.
But my wife had to go to school early. So it's lucky we've got a good friend of ours. His kids are in elementary school with my son. And so like my son just walks, even if it's minus 20, because it's 150 yards to school kind of thing. He just bundles up and away he goes. But he lives a lot farther away. So he actually drives his kids to school and then just comes around the corner, picks up my 2 daughters and drives them to their high school because their high school is beside their house. So, so he's a big help twice a week.
They got school what, twice a week?
No. It's just it's with my wife's
Ronnie Adventures.
college, her course schedule.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Mondays and Wednesdays she can't drive, or Tuesdays and Thursdays. What's today? Thursday. Yeah, so Tuesdays and Thursdays she starts at 7:30 in the morning at school,
TV.
and so she's got to get in there early, and she can't drive the kids to.
Good evening, Ronnie.
Hey, Ron.
Oh no, DB.
What?
She says she did the old lady falling on the ice trick at the post office today.
Oh,
And of course, David Villa, in perfect gentlemanly fashion, comes back and says, "And no pictures."
no.
You're a caring person, David.
Didn't have the dash cam going, huh?
Nope.
Well, hopefully, it's not a bruised hip, because those suck. I've gotten quite a few of those.
No, the worst is a bruised tailbone.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It might be on.
I know that pain.
You should sue the post office for not salting the sidewalk in front.
that's right.
In Canada, if somebody falls on the sidewalk in front of my house, they can sue me.
That's
Ontario, anyway.
the same here. That's why you get tickets if you don't shovel and de-ice the sidewalk.
Mm.
It's a small fine. It's like $25, $30, but it adds up after a while if you don't take care of it.
Yeah. It's easy for me because when I'm blowing my driveway, I then go over and there's a couple of old brothers that live next door to me, retired fellas, and they do their whole driveway with one of those giant push sled kind of shovels. And they always struggle with the hard parts. So I go brrrr down the sidewalk, do the hard parts for them, and then turn around and brrrr, come back the other side of the sidewalk and get it all done at once.
That's kind of what like the neighbor does for us. What he'll do is he'll snow blow out the end of the driveway and then like up to the vehicles,
Yeah.
and then everything else we got to shovel and
Yeah.
take
You
care
do
of.
the nitpicky stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have
What's up, Gold
sidewalks,
Eagle?
so I'm safe.
Yeah, I tore them out and just put gravel down, David. I think the city would have something to do with that.
Yep.
Was
Yep,
that
Gold
today?
Eagle, Nick is claim manager for the Lincoln claim for the Blackfoot, the Gold Club. Yeah, English is hard this morning or
Words are
today. Ah.
Words are hard.
So what have you been up to, Reg?
Keeping busy. Yeah. Had a woman in my life for a little while.
Oh,
Shit went down.
do tell.
Well, we were together for 3 months and we're not together anymore. Put it
There
that
you
way.
go.
Happens.
Yeah.
Yep. No, she led me on, caused a bunch of shit for me, and yeah. Typical fashion, when shit started getting hard for me, she took off.
No, it's right here.
And of course, she did it right before Christmas.
Don't be judgy.
Yeah.
I just about.
And then
died
by
laughing
New
to turn the
Year's, she
camera
had a new
on for a
boyfriend.
second
There you go.
because I'm sorry to interrupt you real quick, but like I about like died laughing here because like the wife was picking her nose ring, and from like the angle she was standing, it looked like she was digging deep in her nose.
Oh, gee, yeah.
Jasker, she found a picker.
She was mining.
It looked like she was full knuckle deep.
Oh, gee. 3 knuckles.
My nose is on the outside for her.
Yeah, it was like on the outside, and she was picking at it like this, but from my angle, it looked like this.
Oh, geez. Oh, when you got an itch, you got to scratch it.
Where on the brain?
No, it's behind the left eyeball.
Yeah. I'm going in the ear.
That's how I usually am. Is like, eh. Sorry to interrupt there, Reg.
Oh, no worries. No worries. It's all good. You know, it hit me a little hard the first couple of days after I found out she had a new boyfriend and stuff like that. But, you know, it's the first woman I've fallen for in 5 years, right? So it hit harder than I expected.
Yeah. Life goes on. That's
Well,
all.
exactly. And the thing is I came to the realization I was happy with where my life was going before I got with her. I had just come back from BC. I had a blast gold mining
That's
and
right.
prospecting during the summer.
Mhm.
You know, I had my cake. I had the icing on the cake.
You got
She was-
the Persians with the icing on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she was just the sprinkles.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Okay.
you know, for 3 months, she made me think that having sprinkles was special.
Mhm.
But, you know, I still had the cake. I still had the icing.
Yeah. There you
My
go.
life is
Yes,
still
no
going where I
sprinkles.
want it to go.
Yeah.
I just don't have her with me. Oh, well.
No sprinkles.
Exactly.
That's all right. I was never a big fan of sprinkles anyway.
Exactly.
Now you just find nuggets.
Speaking of sprinkles, I still have about a tablespoon of those cons you gave me left.
Nice.
So at some point, I use the rest of them to teach the young guys up in Beardmore how to pan for gold.
I've still got half of that container left.
Oh, that black stuff from Dan.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
from the
Rick-
Fraser River.
Oh, from the Fraser.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of gold in it. It's just
Oh, yeah.
really, really fine.
Oh, yeah. It's minus 50 match. And smaller.
Yes. So, like Rock Butcher said, that's good teaching stuff.
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
Oh, yeah.
Because
And
if they can
it's,
pan that out, learning, like first learning panning style and technique, if they can pan that stuff out, then anything that they face up against.
Oh yeah, anything
Yeah.
else is like blamp, 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 done.
I had the guys they each had a little bottle of whatever, little pill bottle or whatever they had handy, right full of water, right to the top. And I taught them how you get one of those flakes loose all by itself, sitting on the bottom of the pan. And while it's underwater, you dry your finger off on your shirt, and then you push your finger down really hard on that flake and pull your finger out, and the flake will stick to your finger. And then you just touch the surface tension on
Touch
your
it.
jar, and boop, and the gold goes to the bottom of the jar. And then, so you don't have a snuffer bottle. This is how you do it, one flake at a time. And yeah, they all left with little jars with, you could see the gold washing around in the bottom. Little
Nice.
yeah, that was good.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far I think I've pulled out maybe about a 1/4 gram to a 1/2 gram from
Yeah.
that bucket.
Right on.
And there's just so much to go through.
Oh, yeah, that's a big ass bucket.
It
Bet you
takes
don't worry about sprinkles.
Yeah.
it takes a good, 20 minutes, 30 minutes just to work through a spoonful of this stuff.
Yeah. That's true.
Because
We were
it's all
doing it-
heavy
We were
black
doing it a
sand.
spoonful at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's not that many magnetics in it. That's the biggest problem.
I
Like-
notice it's about 50-50.
We went in with the stuff you gave me. Maybe the magnetics had gone to the bottom, but
Yeah.
the stuff you gave me, we go in, and I would say it was maybe 15% magnetics. That's it. The rest was all black, hematite or something else,
Yeah.
ilmenite, and we just, it got to the point where we were messing around and pick it up, drop, pick it up, drop, pick it up, drop, and it was like, to hell with it. We'll just pan the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you look at some of that black sand with a jeweler's loop, you'll see
Mhm.
there's some small garnet sand in there too.
Yeah. We saw a couple of few little teeny tiny red ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
That sounds like it should be challenging. Some dirt.
No
Mhm.
nuggets.
Nugget gold.
Charlie, I might just have to dry some out and send some to you.
Yeah.
Did
Or I
you
can
see
just
that?
meet you at the border and just toss it to me.
Did you see that where Dutchy was like he knows 7 languages but doesn't know how to no sprinkles? Dutchy, it's fine. If you know that many languages, you don't need to know sprinkles.
I know 3 languages: French, English, and bad English.
English and redneck.
Yeah.
I can speak English, but I can understand like my native language from South Africa.
Oh,
I can understand it, but don't ask me to speak it.
yeah.
Non, Monsieur Dutchy, excusez-moi.
I'm guessing
Something
with
about files.
Dutchy, I'm guessing you speak Flemish, I guess. clearly, which Dutch, English, French, German. That would be my 4 guesses. What are the other 2 languages?
Spanish.
Spanish, maybe. Yes, Afrikaans is a lot like Dutch because they were Dutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only Spanish I know is dos cerveza, por favor, and
Yeah.
baños.
Donde está el baño?
Yeah,
Where is the
2
bathroom?
beers in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Go lay down, Moose. Or not Moose, Nugget.
Oh, his 2 other languages are Amsterdam slang and the language of love. I think we all inherently speak that when the lights go out, buddy.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Forgive us, DB. for being men. That's funny.
Oh.
I think most dads did that though.
Yeah.
Until you find out that the kids are using it in the correct context and you're like, no.
Yeah. My old man really didn't cuss too much. It was like he'd do something and like hit his finger or something and just go and turn bright red, and it was like, ooh, time to go.
With my dad, it was always Moses.
Yeah. It's funny in French because in North American French, the cuss words are, for the most part, are against the church. Whereas in modern day France, they're more aligned with, modern day English, where cuss words are related to, what they're related to. So I remember, like in Africa, when we would get upset and we'd be swearing, using French Canadian swear words, the Africans didn't get the fact that we were actually hostile. And we had to learn the Parisian French curse words. And then once we started saying those, the Africans are like, "Oh, this white guy's really serious now."
Yeah, when you cuss at somebody and they go, huh?
Huh? Why you talk about the church?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be too funny. DB.
There, yeah, well, that's one of them. Putain.
Yeah.
Quelle sorte de putain.
Oh, that's too funny.
DB.
So what's anybody got any plans for anything or?
Yeah, staying warm this weekend. Shovel some snow.
Come on down here and schlep core boxes around. That'll keep you warm.
All right.
Good evening, Crazy Cannon.
Told you. When you sending for the dirty old miners?
Yeah. Gold Eagle says he speaks perfect English. I beg to differ,
Yeah.
bro. You're from New York, New Jersey.
Coffee.
Whatever. Yeah.
Speaking of coffee, my cup runneth empty.
Yeah.
I keep looking at it in disappointment. It's just like, damn it.
Where's David? Where are you? Where's David Vila at?
I think he's in California, Southern California.
Oh.
Yep.
Keeps refusing to come over and see me because it's so far from Southern California to Southern Arizona. I'm, I'm just busting your nuts there, Dave. Don't worry about it.
Rock Butcher, you got an In-N-Out burger in that town?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so. Let me talk to my friend Google.
Yeah, all right.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure if there is, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. If you go in there, order you a burger animal style. It's not on the menu. You have to ask for it.
No burger near
It
me.
gets all kinds of the fixins.
The closest ones. No, there's 3 in Tucson, but there's none here in Sierra Vista.
Yeah, okay.
I will be right back.
What did you say? What did you call it? An animal burger?
You get a burger and get it animal style.
Oh, animal style.
Yep.
Okay.
Comes with yeah. You
rabbit
have
meat
to
is
ask for it.
excellent.
It's yeah.
Does it
Not
cost
on the
extra?
menu. It's one of them
Okay.
or double animal style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll enjoy that.
Okay, because my flight out of Tucson leaves at 7 a.m., so I'm planning on going up there the night before or the afternoon before. I'll run a load of samples up and then get myself a hotel room and I'll go do that. And then drop the rental off, crack of dawn, and get on the big silver bird, fly far, far away.
Going from needing shorts to needing a parka.
Yep.
Well, how far, David? How far up in Northern California are
Well, I
you?
thought it was in.
Because they're supposed to be getting pounded with. Well, Oregon's getting beaten to hell with some storms coming through there.
Yeah, this has been a pretty wet year for California already.
Yeah, what was it? I thought I seen on Tuesday there was
Cool.
some storm chasers were down by the Gorge area, and they were hitting 120 mile an hour winds coming off roaring up through there by a lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
One guy was just standing there, and he was like tipped, just leaning in just to stand up.
1 hour south of Sacramento, so I know that area pretty well. I grew up in Sacramento. Del Paso Heights. Chord's right there.
DB, you're too funny.
Hey, at least it's not Oildale. If you know, you know. You ever been to Oildale, Charlie?
No.
Good. Yeah. Enough. Yeah. Enough said. If you know, you know.
No. Right, Matt?
Yeah. If you want to see Oildale, look up. What is it? Oildale Royales on YouTube. Yeah, they got a song. It's pretty much hits it to a T. Yeah. And when they filmed the video of it, they actually just went and walked around and filmed the people in Oildale.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Later, Dutchie.
Take care,
Good
Dutchie.
evening,
Have a
Dutchie.
good evening.
Thanks for
Later,
joining us.
Dutchie.
We got 12 awesome people in the house. We're 30 minutes live. I can't do that while I'm on here, Matt. The link is pinned to the top of chat.
So why did they extend your stay, Rock Butcher? You need more. They
'Cause
need
we
more
did-
data, or
We hit, yeah, well, a couple of reasons. The drill was turning slower than we thought. We had the weather delays, and so things were going to be really tight in terms of getting the work done on time. And then on top of that,
What's up, AP?
we've been friends with Murphy ever since this program started, man. And it's, like if anything could go wrong, it would. And
Right.
this whole thing's dragged out a hell of a lot longer than it should have. And then on top of that, day before yesterday, we hit mineralization at the bottom of the hole.
oh,
And it's like, you gonna stop now or what? And
you're right.
can we pinch out another, $60,000 or what? And let's go another 500 feet. So the thing is that we decided to extend, and it's good too. I think that we extended too far, so I may end up having a day where I'm not doing anything at all. But that'll give me time to do all my data entry here, and I'll get it all in, and that'll give me time
Cross
to
your T's, dot your I's, kind of
shop
thing.
for the family and stuff like that too. Buy some gifts. So
AAP's in the house.
Yeah, sorry
Good
about the noise,
evening,
guys.
AP.
The wife was feeding the two
Milwaukee
horses.
KBC.
That sounds pretty cool there, AAP. You got some videos and stuff coming up of that?
Really? Oh, cool.
we had talk about fossils, AAP. We had today in the core, we're drilling through sediment, like limestones and stuff. And we've got there's lots and lots of fossils, but when you're drilling a tube through the rock, you get the fossils lie at all kinds of angles. And so what you get on the edge of the tube, it's hard to interpret what you're actually looking at. You could say, oh, it's a seashell or whatever.
Right.
Today, we hit rugose coral at exactly the right angle, and it's looking at you perfectly. It's a perfect circle it's got these little striations that go into the center from the outside all the way around. The actual coral looks like a trumpet bell or like a bugle, the snacks bugle. That's what it looks like. But on the inside, it's got these little striations that go in like
Oh, cool.
shell parts. And right on the edge of the core was this almost perfect circle with the little lines going in there. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's tabulata rugosa. See that? I know Latin. I speak more languages than 5.
Dang.
He's
educated.
But that's I remember that from university, and I've got a wicked specimen of it at home that I found from the subarctic up in Canada. So those of you who believe in climate change can be assured that at one point northern Canada was subarctic. And it's really cool.
I would love to see pictures of that if you can get some.
Yeah.
Oh, it's back in the box now. I'd have to go find it, but yeah,
That would be nice to see, though.
it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat, right in the edge of the core. Yeah, we fluked out. It was pointed the right direction, and we drilled
Just
right through
you
it.
cut it. You just hit
In a
it just
perfect section, perpendicular to the fossil, and
nice.
As soon as I looked at it, I knew exactly what it was. Yeah.
Good evening.
Somebody-
there,
I bet people
Brian,
look at you
how
like,
you doing?
what? How do you? Okay, never mind.
We got Brian Wilder in the house.
Good evening, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Welcome, welcome.
What's going on?
Got some nice fossilized coral up at a quarry in Port Colborne around here, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Right along the lake there. I used to go there as a kid found a trilobite there when I was younger, and
I'd love to find it. I've never found a trilobite in my whole life. I'd love to find one.
I
I
got
saw
lucky.
one, but it was just on this flat, bald ass outcrop. There was no way you could ever, unless you had a rock saw or something like that, to chop it out with.
Right.
But I've never found one that I could take home.
The Port Colborne quarry here, it's limestone and shale.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it's pretty
that's-
easy to break apart, and
That's
you get some nice fossils out of there.
that's Ordovician to Silurian, so you're 450 to about 300 million years old. That stuff. This
Yeah.
stuff I'm dealing with here is Permian to Mississippian, so it's a lot younger than that.
Well, the Canadian Shield is some of the oldest rock, right?
No, yeah, but where you're at, that stuff you're looking at, where you're finding the fossils, is lying on top of the Canadian Shield.
Yeah.
So how deep are you
Now,
right
today
now?
we're by morning we should be beyond 1,700 feet, going to 2,000.
Okay, what depth did you find that fossil at?
What did I log today?
Just
David, I already
ballpark it.
found one of those.
That's
It's called my
about
ex-wife.
1,100.
1,100.
Yeah.
I just think that's kind of cool. That much rock has moved in on top of
Yeah.
life.
That poor
You
little
know,
bugger was alive. and
1,100
moving at the
feet
bottom
of
the
dirt
sea.
or rocks.
Now he's got all that dirt and rock on top of him. Yeah.
Right. When before it was, I'm floating around being all good, and now I'm squished.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where's
And
my-
some Canadian found me.
and some Canadian brought him back and put him back in the sunlight again.
That's right. I was
Very good.
hibernating.
Where he deserves to be.
And David, technically, she didn't leave. I'm stuck by court order and custody agreements. She's got me where she wants me, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Oh, that's the age, but it doesn't give me the age range. I need my magnifying glass, man. This writing is too small and this lighting is too bad. We're in the
Yeah, because like Missoula here used in I don't know how many thousands or hundreds of thousands. It was a lake bed. It was ancient Lake Missoula. So,
yeah.
and the only thing that drained it was held all back by ice dam
Yes.
during the ice age. And then when it broke up, it flushed rocks the size of this house a house down to the Columbia Gorge.
Sure.
Could you
My
imagine
coffee's ready. I'll be right back.
how would that been to watch? If you could have been a fly sitting up on a mountain and watching
It
this
would have been
ice dam break and that flood of water. Talk about erosion, huh?
Right?
Oh, yeah. Lower Pennsylvanian. What's the age date of the Lower Pennsylvanian? Quick, who's faster on Google than I am? Lower Pennsylvanian. What's the age date?
Faster than I am.
Yep, and I'm on my phone, so.
Did you put it up? I don't know how to spell Pennsylvanian.
PENN.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Okay.
It's a VINIA.
I got it.
I don't know.
I got it. Pennsylvanian.
Yeah, it would always piss me
Oh,
off
wait a
when I'm
minute.
growing up. It's like, if I don't know how to spell it, You know, the teacher always said, well, look it up in the dictionary.
I
How
don't know
in
how to
the
spell it.
Pennsylvanian comes after the Silurian. Wait a minute. Oh, Mississippian. Da, da, da. Oh, it's in the carbon. What the hell?
are you talking rock bands?
Yeah. But I was thinking, I got my age dates wrong then for Ordovician and Silurian. Oh, yeah. Okay. There's Devonian at the top. All right. So that stuff that you're looking at is a lot older than that. Yeah. 450 million years to probably 500. Reg. This stuff that I'm looking at now is, I would say 330 to about 360 million years old.
Yeah, DB's like sound it out. Yeah.
Bit of
I
an
spell
age gap.
phonetically.
Pennsylvanian. Who comes up with these
Phonics
names?
fucked me up.
Yeah. I spell phonetically, and if you don't like it, you get the gist, get how, I type. Yeah, good enough.
Jim, the people who came up with these names are people who wanted to sound smart.
It's actually based on the location that geologists first found rocks of those ages.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the Pennsylvanian age will be the type, what's called the type locality for a specific rock will be, in this case, would be probably in Pennsylvania. And
It's
and
like
that-
the Rochester Shale Formation that sits under the Niagara Plateau.
yes. So the type location for that would be somewhere in Rochester,
Yeah, Rochester, New
where it
York.
was first discovered and found. Yeah,
Yeah.
and written about. Yeah, so 300 million years, 300, call it 325 ballpark. That poor little bastard's been sitting down there in the dark, and finally I showed him the sunshine again for about 20 minutes today before I put the box lid back on.
But just think though, if that specimen is, a decent specimen, eventually over time it'll come out of that box and end up in a collection.
Oh yeah, no,
You
it's
know.
not that cool. Definitely not that cool. But
It'll probably get ground up for a course, or
no, I don't even think I sampled it. I think it's just there. I could go back and look. I can't remember what box it was in.
It may not be cool to everybody, but to the
Mhm.
right person, that's an amazing find.
Read between the lines, right, Rock? Yeah. I don't know if I could find it. I could cut the core in half and then split right along the edge of it and get that little slab and send it to you. I could do that.
That would look
Actually,
awesome.
the cool thing would be, because I'm looking at it, it's looking right at you. So when I cut the core in half, you're going to get the tail end of it sticking out of the other half of it. So
That would be
That'd be
awesome.
cool.
So I have a few fossils in my rock display.
I haven't found too many fossils.
I found a few out in California when I was younger, but out here I haven't found anything really.
yeah, you got to be in the right country for them. Even in these limestones, like I'm looking at thousands of feet of limestone, and there's only distinct beds, and some of them are only like 2 inches wide, and they're full of fossils. And then you'll get 60 feet of just completely barren, micritic, what we call very dense, fine-grained limestone, nothing in it at all.
And that, there's a couple of spots here in Montana where they found some really, really nice fossils.
Yeah,
And it's like,
Jim,
yeah,
I'll
well,
have to take you to the quarry here in Port
They
Colborne
didn't-
sometime.
yeah, that'd be cool.
I guess the dinosaurs didn't lay in the mud over here.
Well,
Or
here
die
it
in
was
the
an
mud.
inland sea. So anything you find fossil record, it's all, sea life.
Maritime,
A
yeah.
lot of plant fossils, a lot
Oh,
of
they
coral,
found, like-
a lot of sea sponge.
I think like T-Rex and velociraptors and
Yeah, because Stacy's in Montana, and so he's like in that belt up into Alberta where they get all the dinosaur fossils because it was uplands. It wasn't part of the inland sea
Yeah.
at that time.
yeah.
Yeah. Geology's cool.
Well,
For sure.
rocks tell so much of a story. You just got to know how to read the book.
Yeah.
What's that word?
I think I found a lot of the mother lode of leverrites, I think,
Yeah.
here.
Native American Lovestone.
Yeah. Well, they're always in the way, so I have to move them, you
That's
know,
right.
to get dirt.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
Maybe that's because of the way it sits.
I don't know. Some of them are just way too big.
Yeah, I find a lot of jasper out here too, AAP. I mean, I have pieces that are like this big that I've brought home already. Some of them have
Mine,
really
yeah,
cool,
I-
like, purple bands. Curling.
I don't look for that kind of stuff. I dig, and it goes through the sluice. And if it's not yellow and looks like gold, I don't care.
Yeah. There's a fair bit of jasper down here, AAP. It's we get nodules and veins. We get some really big blowouts at surface. And some of them contain gold. So but we get it in the core. And it's funny because you're cutting on the diamond saw and you're cutting the limestone, and there's a band of jasper in there, and the saw goes,
Yeah.
you know, it's really hard.
You know,
Yeah.
going through BC, we passed through a couple of old coal mining towns. I couldn't help myself. We seen an outcrop, and I ended up grabbing myself a nice chunk.
Some anthracite.
Right on. North of site or north of
See
site?
that AAP? Gold's golden. If you're finding
Is it
gold, keep it.
anthracite coal or it looks like anthracite?
Yeah, that looks like
Just weathered.
anthracite.
Yeah. That's the good stuff.
Yeah.
That's what you make coke out of.
Hey, we have that stuff going on the train tracks, you know, through here all the time.
Yeah.
Well, out in BC along the Fraser River there where I was panning, the trains are going up and down from the old
Good.
coal minings. Yeah. Still a ton of it going on there.
If you hit that coal chunk with a scintillometer, you'll find it's mildly radioactive.
Oh,
Nice.
what thermometer?
A scintillometer,
Oh,
modern
Okay.
day Geiger counter.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Big words, man.
That's what Reg is
Big
going to be
words
like one of these.
Big words like pumpkin.
Big
Yeah.
words
no, I
like
don't have one yet.
crumpet.
Keyword yet.
We took our scintillometer out to see if we could detect potassium alteration, because potassium alteration is also radioactive. And it's one of the alteration patterns that occurs around this type of deposit. So you want to measure, you can actually measure it, and it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. That means you're getting closer and closer and closer to source. And we had this scintillometer sitting down on one end of the table, and we put the XRF up on the other end of the table and clicked it to turn it on. And the scint went,
Oh,
yeah, that's the scatter range. Let's
yeah. Oops.
let's get out of that range.
Yeah, here, step on this side.
Yeah.
You didn't want kids, right?
Yeah, don't point these at the jubblies.
Well, that's the big joke. We both had all the kids we want, but none of us want testicular cancer either. So because the table is right at the perfect height, you know.
Yeah.
Some mildly radioactive titanite
Okay.
from Titanite Hill here in Ontario.
Just remember to wash your hands after handling it.
Always.
Lick it.
Don't lick it.
Ah.
No. It won't hurt your skin, but it will definitely hurt your belly.
It's a nice little crystal of it.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, the camera's kind of.
Oh, you're
shit,
fine.
but-
Kind of looks like obsidian.
Yeah. That's from Ontario?
Yep, Titanite Hill.
Oh, I know where that is. No, where is it?
It's not far from a uranium deposit near Cobalt, I believe. Me Miner goes up there.
Oh, my God.
What's rock that you're looking for now?
I've been
Oh,
down.
I don't know.
I've been down to get beers out of the bottom shelf of the fridge, and I remember that I lifted 30 core boxes today.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. No.
At 50.
oh, I got a question for you, Rock Butcher. What color is cobalt ore? Or
Pink.
is it?
I have no idea. I've never seen it.
Cobalt has a pink hue to it.
Oh,
Cobalt
Natural in the
bloom.
ore.
Cobalt bloom has the pink is the cobalt bloom. That's the alteration in the rock associated with cobalt mineralization. But what color the actual ore is,
yeah.
I don't know. What's
Yeah,
the
okay.
what's the I guess it's cobaltite? Is it? Let me get my Bible.
I don't know. I just because you always see like cobalt blue,
What's up, Johnny?
bottles that are cobalt blue, and I was just
Yeah,
like, oh, okay, is the
Yeah, but
ore
that'd be like
blue?
That'd be like a cobalt sulfate or something like that. That's making it blue.
Good evening,
Okay, I
Johnny
was just-
Small Pepper. And Matt,
Stump
to
the
answer your-
geologist.
I don't know.
Matt?
I've never mined cobalt.
No.
To answer your question, yes, I have run into Dan Hurd. Both
also-
years that I went out to BC, I went out to go pan with Dan Hurd.
You're also talking to the one and only moderator for Dan.
That's right.
Well, I'm not the only moderator. There is a team of us over there now. Dan's expanded. We've got a few other mods.
Okay, but you were his very first.
Yeah, you were the.
Indeed.
What are the chances that I opened up the Bible one page away from the wrong place?
All
Or from the
right.
correct page. Cobaltite.
Oh,
Cobaltite is silver white to gray,
Yeah.
sometimes reddish, also steel gray with violet tinge or grayish black when containing much iron, metallic streak, grayish black.
No. Okay. Always say, ask somebody smarter than you.
But that was Reg. You bring up the pink thing, and that was exactly one of the things I was thinking about here because I see these pink blooms in the rock here, and it's clearly hydrothermal. It's not natural. This is some alteration of the rock.
Yeah.
And you look at like 5 kilometers to the north is the town of Tombstone, where they mine millions of ounces of silver. And so naturally you assume the cobalt's coming with the silver. So as soon as I saw that pink, I'm thinking, okay, cobalt bloom,
Right.
But when we hit it with the XRF, we get virtually no cobalt at all.
Really?
And, no, so it's more magnesium, manganese, and what I think it is it's rhodochrosite, which is coming in and altering it, which is rhodochrosite is a magnesium I don't want to say oxide because it's not an oxide. It's
Geology lesson of the day. Yeah.
Hang on, let me find it. I just know that when you find that, you find gold.
Isn't that the Cerro Gordo dude?
Who?
The guy in the Cascades?
No, I don't think so.
Rhodonite. Rhodochrosite. 435.
But yeah, we're learning about minerals.
That's right. Geology lesson of the day.
It's beautiful. It's like if you could slab it, it would make, and if it was hard enough, but the problem is it's really soft.
Oh.
But it would make beautiful countertops. It'd make
Well, they
nice-
make countertops out of soapstone.
yeah. I think
Oh,
you'd
damn,
have
if there was a way to stabilize it, you might be able to.
Yeah. No, it's a carbonate. Hang on. 435. 432, 33.
Yeah, David, that's why we hang around with Rock Butcher and people who know more than we do.
Rhodochrosite.
It rubs off. And they said you can't learn by osmosis.
There you go. Again, with this bad light.
They also say you can't teach
Right,
an
not-
old dog new tricks, but
Not-
you know.
Not magnesium, manganese. Mn, not Mng. All those M's, they confuse me. It's manganese carbonate, MnCO3. Pink, rose red, dark red, brown. Darkens on exposure to atmosphere, vitreous, pearly, streak white. It's beautiful, but its hardness is only 3.5 to 4. So
Oh,
yeah, it wouldn't do good. Don't cut your steak on the rhodochrosite cutting board.
oh.
No, not unless you epoxy
They'll make
it
plates out of it.
and stabilized it.
Yeah, you'd have to. So at any rate, that's what I think it is. I found some beautiful examples of that when we were setting up the Fruta del Norte gold project down in Ecuador. And it was like honking. We had rocks that were just these beautiful arc, different colors, and that rhodochrosite with bands of other minerals in them and stuff like that. Cut them in the rock saw and they looked magnificent. When we built our big stone barbecue with river stones from the river right down this, like 10 yards away is the river, and we built this enormous barbecue, like 6 foot wide by whatever, and then I took all the rocks that the geologists had cut because they're like our office was up on stilts, and we must have had 2 tons of cut rock in there. And I told them all, I said, okay, I got 10 geologists. I says, you can each take whatever rocks you want to take for your own personal collection, take them out of here now and bring them to your tent. And everything else that's left, I'm going to put it on the barbecue. And so I went out with all these extra wheelbarrow, these nice cut, beautiful cut rocks, and a big thing of cement. And I just smacked the cement in there and I cement these things right on the outside of the barbecue. And we had the world's most beautiful.
Oh, that would be cool as hell.
And of course, in the Amazon, it rains every day, and so those things that get wet and the colors would just pop. It was.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was the world's coolest barbecue. It still is, probably. We built it pretty well.
Somebody might be using that barbecue today.
I'm sure. I hope so. We did a whole pig on it, so it's big enough for that.
Yeah.
Pig.
Only pig I can eat is bacon. But damn, I eat that fucking bacon as much as I can.
Yeah, the one trip that we usually go to, they usually have like a pig that they'll roast over a spit or a lamb that they'll bring. And oh my, that stuff turns out so good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the guy that Matt was asking about, the guy in the Cascades, that's Jason from Mount Baker Mining and Metals.
Oh,
No.
He's interesting to watch. I think Jason and I are two very, very similar souls that have traveled very, very similar paths. Although his has been a little bit more to the mining side, maybe, than mine. But I'd love to meet him and just sit and have a few beers with him one day, because
Oh, yeah.
everything he does on his videos, I could do on mine. I just don't have the time nor
The energy.
desire to actually do that, you know?
I just want to go into one of the mines with him.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
just to have that experience, going in and seeing what he sees, and you know.
Yeah. He had one video where he took a blast, and I could tell that he's actually pretty new at blasting. And he asked people to explain why the blast didn't work out correctly. And I had to explain to him that I explained to him in the comment section that because the face he was drilling on was curved towards him, and he wanted to create a flat face in front of him.
Mhm.
And in order to do that, you have to drill, okay, these holes are going to be 2 feet deep. These holes are going to be
6 foot deep.
6 deep. These ones are going to be 3 feet or 4 feet deep, whatever, you know, like you have to.
Shit, yeah, you can only go in so far with the rock.
And then but if you want to make a flat face, and you're starting with something that looks like this, these holes have got to be deeper. And then
Right.
as you come along, it's got to get shallower. And the density of the drill holes, the spacing on the drill holes, like in stuff like that, I drill 18-inch centers, and he was drilling 24-inch centers, which is, you're asking for trouble. And
Big trouble.
and he got trouble. So like if he drilled 18-inch centers instead of 24s, and actually figured out in his head how much deeper he had to go every hole, even if he over drilled, it would be fine because he'd just leave a bootleg at the end. But he would have ended up with a flat face to work from. And my comment got a heart. So yeah.
Well, in the end, we're all learning from each other, right?
And you know what? I learned that lesson the hard way myself. There's a reason why I'm sitting here to, you know, explain it. Yeah. I'll tell you, my first few were pretty gnarly.
Interesting.
Yeah. Gnarly. Not interesting, gnarly.
They went bang. It was cool, but
They did.
yeah.
Oh, wow. What do
Watch
you get
that
at the end? Oh my God. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh,
Well, that's always the trick, Matt, is how to get ore
Even
more
inside.
ore out of your mine with the least amount of effort.
Run.
Right. Rule number
You know?
one. Rule number one, gravity is your friend.
Yep.
Let it fall down. You run.
And carrying sacks sucks.
Well, that's the thing with his mine, though. Right now, the way his entrance is, he's got to kind of go down and in to get into his mine, right? So he's got to carry all of that ore up and out, and then down the mountain. Wow. Right now, I don't know how much he owns on that claim, or how far down he can dig, or if he's able to put in, another adit below,
Mm-hmm.
which will give him the opportunity to throw in an ore chute and drop the material down and out.
He's got an extra exit on the same level that they're mucking on.
Yeah.
He's just got to meet it.
And to the side of the mountain, they got an exit on the side of the mountain. So if he built an ore chute on the outside of the mountain and he extended his rail it would take a lot of work. He was saying, I remember he said, this last little bit, we're just using it for an emergency exit because it's
There's
difficult
Gold
to
Eagle.
get through here. But if he improved that to the point where he could run his rail out to the edge, he could actually blast the face, push it in a cart directly along to the entrance, and dump it in an ore chute and run it right down the side of the hill to his truck,
Yeah.
instead of going through all the shenanigans
Right.
to get it out. And that's why I say gravity is your friend, man.
Absolutely.
I've done lots of narrow vein mining all around the world, and the easiest way is you build your mucking point down at the bottom, and your hoisting point is down at the bottom, and you get everybody who's working everywhere else just sends it all right
Throw
down,
it down.
and it goes to the bottom, and the boys down at the bottom deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have a good night, Gold Eagle.
Well,
Good night, Joe.
night, Joe.
I'll carry buckets.
A carry bucket.
We're talking tons, buddy, not pounds.
Yeah.
Give me a shovel. I'll move some stuff.
A long conveyor belt.
David Villa. What the heck? No pit ponies here. The SPCA would be on your ass in a heartbeat if you bring pit ponies back, that's for sure.
Yeah. Start throwing mules back down. Yeah.
Yeah.
My big ass could go through.
Well, just south of here is the Queen Mine in Bisbee, and they have on the tour they have the stalls that they kept the ponies in. You know, and they were down there forever and ever. Never saw sunlight. Yeah.
Over, Rob. Hello.
Good evening, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Even Rob.
Yeah, we got like 20 minutes and then the show is going to be over. We've just been hanging out, chit-chatting, gabbing, talking about the
We're
weather,
learning stuffs.
learning geology, rock periods and dates.
Stumping the geologist.
Yeah.
It's always a fun time. And today would have been one of the days that we probably could have stumped him because he's the world's most tired geologist today. So.
Well, we did. I asked him what color cobalt ore was, and he didn't
I had to
know.
look it up. I looked it up
See?
live in front of all of you. So Stacy stumped me. That's
One for the idiot. Me.
yeah.
For the uneducated.
Yeah.
But I learned it.
It's always good to learn something.
That's right. Learn something every day.
You guys, I guess the three of you weren't online, or maybe you were online yesterday when I was talking about that Sinjarite. Stacy, were you there? I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I was. I was.
Okay, so Reg and Charlie, we found a mineral drilling which does not occur on the surface of the earth. It's called Sinjarite, and it's calcium chloride. And, you know, like everybody knows sodium chloride, that's salt, table salt.
Yeah.
Calcium chloride is widely used in industry. It's those little prills that you sprinkle on dirt roads to keep the dust down,
Yeah.
because it's hydroscopic and it pulls in water.
Mhm.
And it also melts ice. You can do it. You can use it for that, but it's not as good as salt. And so people don't use it for that. But it does occur in crystal form, and most of the stuff that is used in the industry is chemically produced. It's not, because it doesn't occur. There's no large deposits of it.
Natural deposit. Yeah.
And the only place you find it is in some epithermal systems, and also in what do they call it? Evaporite deposits, like the Dead Sea Basin, or where an ocean is evaporating and it's depositing salt and stuff on the bottom, and then you end up with a salt plain like you got
Yeah.
in America and that. And they anyway, they hit this vein, and it was amazing. We drilled the core, and this vein is almost parallel to the core, and there was a little vug in the middle of it, and these crystals were about a half an inch long. They were big, and they were hexagonal in section, but at the top there were three faces. I'm like, what the heck is this? And I scratched it, and it was soft, and I hit it with acid, and it didn't fizz. And I'm like, what the hell is that? So I laid it down, and I hit it with the XRF, and it came back, chlorine and sodium.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm thinking, wait a minute, like, how does that work? Because chlorine isn't a metal. Like, it's like
Right.
you normally think of metals or pseudo metals attaching to
Right.
the non-metallics in order to make a chemical bond. And so but then I thought, no, because there's calcium chloride. And so we Googled it. We actually Googled it. And then when I looked at the picture, I'm like, yeah, that's what that is. And it's like exceedingly rare. And it's not good for anything other than a sample. But so the driller's helper, he was kind of eyeballing it, and he asked me, he says, are you going to keep it? You still got half in the box. So we got this beautiful specimen in the box, which will stay in the box. But I looked at it and I said, well, if you want it, you can have it. So we trimmed on the rock saw, we trimmed the bottom edge off so it stands up proud like this with all the crystals out of it. And I gave it to him. So.
Yeah, but
That would
didn't
be
you
a
say
nice
that
specimen.
was going to like?
I thought
Turned
it might. I thought it might, because it's a hydrous mineral, and I thought, and it may still do so. But we've got the little chunk that we cut off the base of it. I looked at it today, and it's still just as clear as it was yesterday. So,
Oh, okay.
if it's gonna,
You said it was going to turn to dust, or
if it's going to dehydrate, it's going to take its time. So I told him, I says, go get yourself like a spray can of Varathane or something like a clear coat, and when you get a chance, give it a good wash, clean it up the way you like, let it dry out, and then hit it with a coat of that clear coat. So you
seal it up.
You seal it up and keep the air off it, and it'll be beautiful for 100 years.
Nice.
Yeah. Exceedingly rare mineral.
Nice.
What is it called?
How's it going, Matt?
How's it going, guys?
It's called Sinjarite. I'll type it in the text.
There's all these rare minerals I hear about, and it's like, I mean, they might be valuable, they might not, but you don't know what to look.
This one, you could never cut it or anything like that. It's a curiosity at best.
I watched this
Well,
one.
if you ever come across any nice specimens, let me know, Jim. I'm happy to take some specimens to add to my collection.
This one guy went to what was it? Outside of Australia, Tanzania or something like that, and they were the gold miners that were in the area, or they couldn't find. There was something kind of like metallic silver, something substance that was almost like lead, and they couldn't separate it from the gold, and it was a problem for them. But apparently, it turned out to be more valuable than gold. They actually diverted a river for it. It's interesting.
Oh.
Tasmania. They're in Tasmania.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the
Rugged country.
Osmiridium?
That's what it was. And it was
Yeah.
silver looking in color, but
It's
the
yeah,
line-
yeah. It's a combination. It's a really weird. That's like the only place in the world it occurs.
yeah, they couldn't
It's,
find it in the past. They
It's,
diverted the river.
it's an amalgam of, or not an amalgam. It's a what do you call it when you blend two metals together? Of
Well,
An alloy.
iridium, an alloy.
kind of an alloy. I mean,
Iridium. Yeah.
naturally forming somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why I've been watching the opal hunt. And man, I want to go to Australia and go look for some opal. I really do. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It looks easy when they do it on TV.
Yeah.
Not that easy, Matt, because if
No,
it was easy,
I know.
everybody would be doing it.
Yeah,
Buddy,
it'll be
no,
mined out.
you both don't do easy. We go up on and in blizzards and don't find jack, whatever. So I mean, we just go out to the
Honestly, I want to try Reedy Creek where Vogus does his panning there. That cassiterite ore that he's pulling out the tin ore seems
You know
like
what?
it would be a good challenge to pan.
You know what I thought though, and I saw this recently. I want to go into Victoria, up in the mountains, down southeastern Australia. I want to go up in those mountains there. There's a couple spots I don't think have ever been touched. And then Greenland, I want to go to Greenland. Greenland is also another place. The ice is melting now, and these are places that nobody's ever laid eyes on. I mean, the prospecting could be. I mean, who knows what you could
Well,
find.
weren't they trying that ice cold gold?
Yeah,
show-
but they're having problems with their crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They fell apart. So if you can't
Right.
cover ground and you can't do things properly, you can't really prospect properly. So if you don't have a team that's actually like on the goal and doing what they're supposed to do, it's a bunch of kids running around in the damn. It's true. You can throw a video. I mean, me and Charlie could go around out there in a Sasquatch suit, and it's not really going to do anything if we're not actually doing what we're supposed to be doing there. So I mean, it's great. But
Well, if you need sponsorship, just contact the History Channel. We'll sponsor anything
Where's the-
Sasquatch.
I don't want sponsorship from them because then they control your life. That's the problem. That's why
Yeah.
Vernon, and all those other guys don't want to deal with Discovery anymore. They're off that shit because they don't want to deal
So-
with it. Sure, they
And
do.
what-
Can't say I blame them.
But they're
Rock
not.
Butcher. How would they, with like that considerite, go and be with like when you start doing the, let's say, acids to remove it before you did, started panning? Would it eat that tin or find like that kind of stuff? And then it would be easier to remove the gold?
That's a good question.
So what is the benefit of bringing acid out when you're doing a hard rock testing? What is that? What can you just dissolve?
Because
certain
depending on the
metals?
colors that the acid change, how it bubbles, fizzes, or like sizzles, it'll tell you what type of minerals and the makeup pretty
Yeah,
much.
so
what
it's
deal-
basically just a field test to find out if you're on something or not.
Well, I'm thinking using the acid just to remove all that, let's say the tin, or find an acid that just destroys the tin, and then you have to deal with that crap.
Yeah, but if it's acidic enough to eat the tin, you would think it would also eat the other materials in the pan as well.
Well, it wouldn't touch the gold though.
So what is the difference between, different metals, and where's gold at on that spectrum?
Gold is like one of the heavier ones. That's
Right.
why you
Wow,
can use that.
before it would
That's why.
dissolve.
That's why you have to build like an acid base with a bunch of other stuff to be able to dissolve it down, because it's not strong enough just to be dissolved by one acid. It takes multiple acids.
Right. Yeah, you got to use well, that's what the Aqua Regia, you know what I mean? If you only did half of that, like let's say the hydrochloric acid, would that remove all the tin out of your concentrates? And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, making it in theory easier to pan out the gold.
But then, you're having to deal with acid then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's a
vinegar
it's a-
or something like baking soda to neutralize it.
it's an evil that you'd have to be dealing with, or just bite the bullet and just pan it out. You know what I mean?
Did
Well,
you hear that question, Jim?
So sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
What I was saying is, okay, in Australia, you know, they were always saying the considerate, the tin. Would it like, you know, be easier to get all your concentrates and just throw them all in to, let's say, an acid that eats tin and just not deal with it? Or would it just be easier just to say screw it and not deal with the acid and just bite the bullet and just pan it out?
What's the density of what's the specific gravity of cassiterite?
I have no idea.
Is it close to gold? I would just gravity separate it.
Just pan
It's-
it.
As
Just
far
pan it
as
out
I can tell from what Vogus pans and
It can't
his
be-
stuff there, it's about the same as our black sand.
Yeah, it can't be nearly the same as gold. You should be able to separate it out. A jig system would do a really good job of it. But through the bed,
Okay. Well, I was just wondering because he was saying, oh, the tin's not magnetic, so would it just be easier just to say, screw it, take all your concentrates, throw it in a bucket of hydrochloric acid?
yeah, but
Oh.
tin comes in tons, man, and gold comes in grams.
Right.
Problem. Like a lot of those, believe it or not, a lot of those dredges that worked up in the Klondike were packed up, towed across the Pacific Ocean, and went to work in Indonesia and Malaysia at the tin mines. And
Okay.
they ran basically the exact same operation, but they were catching cassiterite instead of gold in their sluices.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here's a
Yeah, but
question.
I would do if I was in a situation where I had gold and cassiterite together, I'd probably do a through the bed jig system, and that would definitely stratify it. And then you would have to, at the coarse end, you'd have to turn your mats over and pick your gold off the top, and then take the rest as cassiterite. So,
Oh, okay.
different
What is
smelter.
considerite?
Cassiterite,
ore.
tin ore.
Is tin ore?
Okay, so it's fairly light.
No, it's heavy.
It's a heavy mineral.
And tin is heavy?
Are you gonna make me go back to
Yeah, I think it's of light material.
cassiterite?
Yeah, it's just like our black sands, Matt.
Attends une minute, là.
Okay.
That's French
Yeah.
for
Instead of having the magnetite that we have, they have considerite. Is
Okay.
their black sand?
cassiterite. 402.
Is it black in color?
No,
Yes.
it's silvery.
Oh, well, that shows up black on camera on his videos.
Oh, really?
And actually, the
I thought it was
tin is
silver.
worth.
I think it's only once
know?
it's oxidized it goes black.
Maybe
Thanks.
it's
But if you're-
oxidizing real fast.
Uh,
402, 402.
The biggest thing I have when I'm in the field is I want to know what I'm looking at.
Here we go. Cassiterite. Tin oxide. Brown. Oh, no. I was
looking at. I mean, I could be looking at a
See
$1 million
that?
rock.
wrong
I
again.
wouldn't know if I'm not sure what I'm looking at.
Brown, black, rarely yellow, gray, greasy, or adamantine to dull streak. Density, specific gravity is 6.8 to 7.1. So yes, it's very dense.
And what's gold?
Oh, it's like what? 19?
19. So it's
It's heavier than water.
and garnets are what 9?
I
That's why
don't
we.
think so. I think garnets are like 5 something.
Oh, 5? Oh, okay.
but
So
they'll
it's heavier than garnets. So
They'll still
Yeah,
grab
so
it.
I could see it being a problem in a pan, but I can't see it being a problem in a setup
in
dedicated.
a jig.
Yeah, jig system. It would form a perfect layer above your gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll run into situations where we're all of a sudden we're panning our concentrates out of the sluice, and it's predominantly magnetite, hematite, uh, pink, and I call them grape jelly. I want to find a big grape jelly garnet. They're like almost purple. They look like grape jelly. And
Yeah.
then there's the reds, the real deep reds. I found one that was like orangish. It's like orange red.
Legit garnet, yeah. The red ones are almandine. The purple ones, the grape jelly ones would be pyrope.
I like those. And then we get a lot of druzy quartz, jasper in any of our spots. I mean, but they'll never let us mechanically mine it, so it's all just like hobby mining here. But the amount of dirt that we move to the amount of gold that we find is just there's a crap ton of gold here. I don't know why, but it's there.
I've explained to you why it's there already, Matt. It's
I
because
know. There's
when
still
there's the impact, and then there's also the glacial events that pushed all the gold into that
there's
area.
still hard, and there's hard rock too. So there's a lot of
I
things.
mean, we
going
have
on.
found a few specimens there.
Oh yeah. You still have that one?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody cracking a beer.
That was a good echo.
Oh, that's funny.
And on
Oh.
that note, guys, we're gonna head backstage, hang out there for a little bit, maybe chit chat. I'm gonna talk to Matt about sometime when we might be able to get out in the future here, but doesn't look like anytime soon.
Unless you bundle up bigger
But
that you can't
Especially
move.
when I scratch the itch, but I mean, I've been itching, but it's just been a lot of things going on between both everything.
we're gonna call it a night. Thanks everybody for coming in. We still got 8 awesome people in here. Really appreciate
Dave
you guys
wants me to
hanging out
pop one
and
for him. Hang
being
on.
here with us. We got to stump the geologist today. Way to go, 406.
Yay!
Oh, yeah. That way.
But
Here you go, Dave. Here you go, David. There, I pop one for you. Here. Take it.
Now you guys-
Oh, you know
All
what they call that?
right.
Good man yourself.
Have a good night, YouTube.
Good
Here's
night,
that outro.
YouTube.
And have a good one.